then same deal in the spring. We'll probably be erging twice a week. So it really changes. And then, yeah, I don't know. There's something about that machine that keeps you honest. I think it like always shows you what you're capable of. And that's like where it's fun to me. It's just trying to like see how well I can do today. Not that it's like I got a PR every day, but I sort of know that I got to like stay in touch with it all if I want to keep doing it and things like that.
And has your mind or has your mindset or philosophies changed since you were high school competitive, athlete, getting to where you were, then obviously
Yeah.
through college, and then
Yep.
with all this experience as a national team athlete, as an Olympian, and then also into your coaching career, like has anything changed? Is there anything that you would kind of think about in terms of like just the training itself, like
No,
in terms
totally.
of actually what you're doing and all that?
Yeah, I definitely think it's like evolved multiple times. Sort of in high school, I was like just pull hard all the time. Just kind of like row hard, row low, try and see how far you can move the fan or move the boat. And then when I got to college, I sort of recognized that the thing that was really holding me back was actually like my lungs. I felt like when I was doing 6Ks or workouts, I was like choking almost. And that's when I started to, okay, let me like row a little slower, not try and make every session as hard as possible. Like before I went to the junior team, I did like 2x10K at like 151 at like a 23 or something. So I was just every day I sat down on the machine, it was just go. And then in college, I really recognized that I needed to like have a little bit of polarity where morning sessions, I was still coming in and trying to make 157s as easy as possible. So that way I could show up in the afternoon and whatever workout we were doing, I could attack it and just go ham. So I really got away from trying to make every session hard to some sessions had to be pretty easy, much more aerobic, to then some sessions had to be as hard as possible, And then I think on the national team, we started doing a lot more training around lactate testing, which is sort of like what's your lactic acid levels like in your blood. And that was definitely a little bit firmer and just more volume. I went from sort of like rowing probably 120K a week in college, I should say, to like we were doing 200K a week on the national team. And it was all really, really firm. And I think I definitely plateaued when I was on the national team, but then that led to the really big breakthrough going 604. So it's sort of like I think I just needed to adjust to the volume of it all. Whereas like in college, I went like 610, and that was really I felt like super maximized, just always coming in feeling really fresh to sessions and things like that. Whereas the national team, I was like tired all the time. But I think just where I was at in terms of my training, you kind of have to do it at that level. I don't think college or high school guys need to be doing tons and tons and tons of meters. I think like quality is way better than quantity. And now I'd say I've gone back to less meters, but I'm going pretty firm all the time because where my physiology's at, like my cardiovascular ability isn't going to get any better. It's really about like, can I stay in touch with like pain tolerance and sort of like still feeling like I can like really drive the flywheel or drive the boat. Because I'm still only 165 pounds, so it's not like I'm just some beefcake. I think like polarized training works really well for the big guys because they kind of have like an innate ability to produce 1,000 watts. Where I think for a lot of like lighter, smaller guys, like after you build that aerobic base, then you got to sort of start figuring out like, all right, well, how do I like generate here and hit the numbers and make that all sustainable?